that the cross of Christ not only took care of us today and tomorrow, but it also reached back to the beginning of sin. It included Adam and Eve and all those right after them who had sinned. It covers them. The animals, the blood of animals and goats, they were the shadow of God's forgiveness. But when Christ died, one sacrifice for all, he's able to actually cleanse us and remove the sin from us. And we have a new standing with God. And so this cross event, the message of the cross is telling us that God passed over the sins previously committed before, but his righteousness now at the cross is a demonstration of his righteousness, his justice. So at the present time, that he is just. Not just merciful in saving Adam and Eve, but he's just in dealing with the sin problem. Because what had to be propitiated? What had to be appeased? Because that's what the word means. You might not like it. That's exactly what it means. And what had to be appeased? God? He had to be placated because of our sin? No, God's law had to be satisfied. It had to be appeased. And who appeased the law? Christ, for us, so that he could take the blame and give us his righteousness. That's what happened at the cross. And if we have faith in that, Jesus will say, you'll have faith in what I did on the cross. You won't have to die. I'll take the loss. And that's what we see happening on the cross. That he might be just and the justifier of the one who has faith in Jesus. Verse 27, where then is boasting? It's excluded. By what kind of law? Of works? No, but by a law of faith. For we maintain that a man is justified by faith apart from works of the law. It's the second time he says that in this chapter, that the law can't save us. We have been justified, made right with God, apart from the works of the law. And that's hard for some people to wrap their heads around. Again, it's not belittling the law. It's not saying the law was bad or done away with. It's just saying it's not the pathway to salvation. That ship has already sailed, and you and I are condemned. And when we come to Christ, we come through him, his righteousness. That's how we come. That's why in 2 Corinthians 5, verse 21, we get the picture of the great exchange where Christ bore our sins so we could bear his righteousness. He just traded. That's called the great exchange. Because of that, you and I live. Not about anything we did. So he asked the question, where's the boasting? You have nothing to boast about. It's a matter of faith. What kind of law, he says? The law of faith. We maintain that a man is justified by faith apart from the works of the law. Or is God the God of the Jews only? Is he not the God of the Goyim, of the Gentiles? Also? Yes, of Gentiles also. Since indeed God who will justify the circumcised by faith and the uncircumcised through faith is one God. Do we nullify the law through faith? May it never be. On the contrary, we establish the law. It's just not the pathway to salvation for us. Because that ship has sailed. Through that we have the cross of Christ. Bless you.